Good evening, and congratulations to all the new members of the board, and hello to some of you I've seen before. Hello, Dr. Williams, members of the board tonight. I'm Delegate Michelle Guyton. I represent District 42B, most of which lies within Councilmanic 3. And I am here because I've heard a lot of concerns from constituents about a couple of different issues ongoing at this moment. I first want to say thank you, Superintendent Williams, for your remarks before I spoke. I know that my constituents from Hampton Elementary School are here, many of them are here today. And I have been in contact with you and your office, both by letter, through the delegation opportunities, and through our legislative liaison over here, Mr. Tony Bazemore, who is honestly a credit to Baltimore County Public Schools. I mean, he solves so many problems for me and for all of you. So I just have to throw that out there. However, I also have a responsibility to communicate with you the concerns that I hear on a regular basis from those in my constituency. And I've heard a lot about the Baltimore Public Schools redistricting process. Of particular concern, there are two of them, not just Hampton. Particularly concern is the Northeast Central Middle School boundary study that's currently underway, and then also requesting a reevaluation of the boundary study and overcrowding at Hampton Elementary School. The original study, as you've already noted, severely underestimated the population of the school. And I do hear that you're going to send some information out this week really detailing about how you're going to address this problem. I think all that I've heard so far is that there is a plan for learning cottages, which we all know are trailers, yes, which may be a very short-term solution, but certainly is not an appropriate long-term one for this community. So through our, again, I requested a few months ago, I think actually, with my colleague, Delegate Kathy Forbes, that we reevaluate and look at the process to see how we could alleviate this overcrowding at Hampton Elementary School. And I trust that that's part of what you're going to share with us over the next week. In addition, we have great concerns about the Northeast Central Middle School boundary study process, right? You know, one of the goals when conducting the boundary study is to create continuity from elementary to middle to high school. And I know that when I have written and we've shared our concerns with the superintendent previously through the delegation meeting, which we really appreciate you being open to doing that, to listening to us and answering our questions. You know, we did call upon the Baltimore County Rule 1280, which you referenced a few moments ago. And I think that people are interpreting that in very different ways. Basically, Rule 1280 says that those affected schools need to be a part of this process. But what we're actually finding is that the students and families that will be affected, not those who are currently in middle schools, which are part of the process, but the ones that are going to be most directly affected by this redistricting are not part of the process currently. And hopefully, part of what you will share with us this week, though you didn't detail it, will include plans to change that. So I believe that all families from impacted schools should have a voice in the boundary studies impacting their school zone, pursuant to how a lot of other people interpret Baltimore County Rule 1280. And by involving all stakeholders based on those criteria, the Baltimore County School boundary study process will be much more equitable and fair. This is going to affect more than 30,000 students, and we believe that the best way to ensure that it is, in fact, a responsive and fair redistricting process is to consider pausing it until a few things happen. First of all, you actually have participants from the stakeholder schools, the elementary schools, who are going to be affected by this. And also, possibly until the Baltimore County Board of Education has been fully filled with appointed members. You guys are doing a great job, but you're not fully seated yet. And so there are going to be other opinions and other people who are going to want to have some input into this, hopefully soon. And then given the fact that our superintendent is also going to be leaving us, it might be appropriate to work with a new superintendent on making these decisions. So I really appreciate your time. I know personally that your job is not an easy one, and I really, really appreciate all of your willingness to serve and to be in this position, because I understand how difficult it is. So thank you so much for your time and attention. Thank you for listening to my constituents and to me and being responsive to that. Thank you so much.